Hey family, it's Tracy. Hi. I am back. Finally. It's been quite a while since I made a blog. And I am not even going to pretend that I am going to get back to making them like I used to make them. But I did just want to come online since it's the end of the year and I hadn't done one. I think maybe I've only done one or two this year. So anyway, um, but it is December 12th, 2016. Oh, well, for those who don't know, anyone who might see this video, I have started a few years ago making blogs for my kids to share with their kids. Um, in case I'm not around and you want to learn a little bit more about grandma or great grandma and kind of how she lived her life and what she thought about things and things like that. So, like I said, I kind of fell off big time from making them. Um, but it's December 12th, 2016, like I've started to say. Um, It's coming up on Christmas. Um, and December has always been my favorite month of the year when it comes to holidays. I mean, the time of the year I love is summer because I don't really like the cold. But December, because of Christmas, is kind of my favorite month. And just feel like most of the time people are in a better mood and treat each other better in December because of the holiday. Um, but I'm excited because my daughter Alicia comes home next week, and I miss her. You know, I've always been one who just couldn't wait for my kids to get out of the house. I can have an empty nest. Um, and now that they're out, I'm glad. I am still glad that they're out, but I do miss them. With Felicia, it's different. She's in Japan, so I don't get to see her, so I miss her more. Um, and Justin and Chris are close by, so I get to see them from time to time. But with her, we only FaceTime unless she comes home to visit. So the last time she was home was around Christmas last year. But needless to say, I'm really excited that she's coming home. Um, this year, this year itself, as I look back on it, it's had its ups and downs. It's been trying in a lot of ways, only because of dealing with a family member who has a terminal illness. So um, that's been kind of taxing and a little trying. Um, in other ways, it's been all right, I guess. Um, It's one good thing about this year is I think I spent more time with my family this year than I have in wow, since I was probably a kid. Um, just seeing them. We had cookouts this summer. Kind of had a friends and family day. Um, went down South Carolina and saw relatives. Um, so I enjoyed that part of it. I think um, most people who know me, and most people who've seen my previous blogs know that I'm kind of a introvert. I don't really like a lot of interactions with people and a lot of noise and all of that. So it's kind of hard for me to engage in that, and it can be very draining to do that. But I must say this year I have really enjoyed my family and seeing them, spending time with them and things like that. So that's definitely a positive, I would say, for the year. Um, and then I'm looking forward to New Year's Eve where some of our family are getting together again, so that should be really cool. Um, what else? What else? What else? I guess pretty much that is what I wanted to say. I really haven't had much time for anything else. Just kind of work and dealing with day-to-day life. Um, Relationship-wise, just kind of in a holding pattern. Really don't have time to really commit at this point, so um, I'm okay with that. I'm all right. I like being by myself a lot of the time, and I probably would drive somebody crazy by telling them to get lost when they got on my nerves. So, um, but hopefully that'll change next year sometime, I think. Um, but for the most part, I will say, mood-wise, I've been in a relatively positive space overall. I have my down days, and just like anybody else. And on those days, you just feel the way you feel. I just think as long as you don't stay there, and that's my biggest thing. That I see so many people who get in that negative space and they stay there and they wallow in it and they harp on it, this isn't going right, that isn't going right, so and so did this to me, and you know, I'm not getting what I want here, and I got bills to pay, and I need this and I need that. And and truth of the matter, we all need something. Nobody's life is perfect. And, you just can't stay there. You can't stay in that space. And that kind of gets me about social media, because I think social media is great in the sense that it lets you connect with people um, far away. You stay in contact with your friends and family and your loved ones. Um, Share things. It's great in that aspect, but it can also negatively affect people in the sense that sometimes when your life isn't going that great, you see all this other stuff that people around you on social media, in their lives. They're going about how great their lives are and this and that. And it starts making you feel even worse about your life. And you can't do that. First of all, not everything is always what it seems. Um, so sometimes people put stuff out there that's not really accurate. They just want to put that perception out there. So, you can't always look at that. And you should never judge who you are in your situation based on somebody else. You should judge who you are in your situation based on who you want to be and where you want to be. And if you're not there, then you need to take the steps to change things so you can get there. Um, I had posted on Facebook, I don't know if it's still going to be around when my grandkids, great grandkids, if you're looking at this, well, Facebook was like one of the biggest social media sites where you went and shared stuff and posted stuff and pictures and videos and complained and laughed and all of that stuff. But I would assume you guys have something like that now. But yesterday I had posted something about, just basically stop complaining. If you're unhappy, change the things in your life that are making you unhappy. And someone had said to me, who kind of took it personally, that, oh, it's not that easy, and you think things are so easy to change things, not everyone is not like you, and this and that. And it's like, first of all, no one's like me. Was that like really bad? But the truth of the matter is, no one's like me. No one's like you. Um, we don't all look at things the same way. We don't all approach things the same way. Um, and I don't believe change is easy. Change is rarely ever easy. But if it's needed, you have to put in the work to make it happen. If you are living your life and you are unhappy, and I don't believe anyone was put on this earth to live their lives and be unhappy in their lives. But, if you are unhappy, regardless of why you are unhappy, regardless of why you're in the situation you're in, you know, I know there are times when you don't have control of why your life, why you're in the current situation that you're in. But I would say 95% of the time, you do have control or you've done something to contribute to it. We all have. I know I have, in my own life at times. So, um, but if you are unhappy, you have to be committed to put in the work no matter how hard it is to change it. And if you're not willing to do that, then just shut up and suck it up and deal with your situation. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's I want everybody to live their lives the way they want to and be the best version of themselves that they can be. Um, and I think it's possible for everybody, but again, you have to commit. You just can't talk it. You got to do it. I've listened to so many people talk about, well, you know, um, I can't, it, you know, how do I want to put this without sounding, um, but just so many people who like to look outside and place blame here and place blame there, and you know, and act shocked when things don't go their way or people do certain things to them. But if you look, it started somewhere, and that somewhere was with you. You chose that person as a friend. Why did you choose that person as a friend? I'm sure early on they probably showed you who they were. So why did you continue being friends with them? So now you want to be shocked because they did something to hurt you or that you didn't like, or they're not, they've lied, or they're not being a person of their word. Why are you shocked? You dealt with that. You allowed that in your life. You know, um, you're unhappy with your job. Okay, why? Why is there something you can do to change that? Examine self-examination. Is there something you did to contribute to that? If it's not something you truly want to do, why are you doing it? Because you need a paycheck? Okay, you have a paycheck. Now that you have a paycheck doing something that you don't really want to do, why don't you start looking at ways to get to a place where you want to be? You can do more than one thing. You can be holding down that job until you can find something better, or to do, or start doing the work, or going to school, or doing whatever you want to get to where you want to be. I think I see so many people who expect things to be handed to them. It's and so many people feel like they have a sense of entitlement without working for it. And I feel like that is missing so much in this society today. And I used to think it was generational, but it's not even generational anymore. I see people my age and older who have that belief that, you know, they should be given something instead of working for it. Um, and that's not the case. I and again, it's not hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy in some cases, but that doesn't mean it's not worth working toward. Um, and the unhappy thing too is that, I I don't have patience for people who wallow in that. It's okay to be unhappy at times. We all go through things. We all feel bad. You gotta feel down. You gotta go through that period of just getting through that darkness and that negative space, but don't stay there. And so excuse me. I I think what really bothers me, not so much seeing people unhappy and because like I said, I think everybody goes through that, but people who just complain about this and about that, and they're just they're happy being miserable. That's what really bugs me. They're happy being miserable, and they want that empathy and sympathy, and they want somebody to come save them or to make it better, and without them having to do it themselves. Or they feel like they tried one time, or they gave a little effort, and it's that why me syndrome that they're stuck in, and things like that. And I just don't have patience for that, I guess, because in my life I have I've been to different parts of the world. I've lived in many different states. I've met people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religions, different cultures. I mean, and I have this perspective, and I've seen so many people who have had less than what I've ever had in my life, and yet they believe in hard work. They believe in not giving up. They don't sit there and complain about what they don't have. They're grateful for what they do have. I've seen people who have overcome some tremendous hardships and have a great outlook on life, and would never sit there and complain about their situation. I've seen people who, and I've told this story before, I think maybe in one of my previous blogs, but I think it's worth repeating. When I was a teenager and I had a back issue, and I was in AI Children's Hospital for several months while they were trying to figure out what was wrong and fix it. I met a young lady who had lived in that hospital her entire life. She had a terminal illness. She did not know when she was going to die. She knew she was going to die. Um, she didn't know she was going to wake up tomorrow, or the day after that, or the day after that. She had a disease that left her in constant agony. Whenever the nurses had to move her body, it was excruciating to her, and she would scream out in pain. But not one time in the 3 months that I was in that hospital did I hear that young lady complain about her situation. And in fact, it was just the opposite. Every new child that came on that ward, that young lady would go to them, introduce herself, greet them with a smile, tell them it would be okay. You know, to be able to do that with going through what she was going through made me say, what right do I have to complain about anything? I am so blessed. I am so lucky, you know? And so whenever I come up against something where I'm feeling down or depressed or, defeated, I think about her, and I think about a bunch of other people who I've encountered who have never or don't, if they have, felt that way, don't stay in that space. So that's why I don't have patience for people who are able-bodied people, who have a roof over their head, who have food they can eat, who have people who care about them, you know, who can get out and either have a job or working on, who can get a job. I don't have patience for that constant wallowing in my misery of poor me. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why is my life not going right? Why am I not getting what I want? It's like, stop it. Just stop it. Focus on the things that in the ways that you are blessed. And if you look at things like that, that's all you're going to keep getting. When you focus on those things that you don't have, the negatives in your life, all you're going to do is keep getting negative. And I guess the other thing along those lines, the if you're not necessarily, how do I want to say this? Even if you feel like you're taking the steps to do the right things, but you're associating with people who are not doing the right things, that's not going to benefit you. That's just going to pull you back. You should associate with people who inspire you to be better than who you are. People who are cheerleaders for you, people who motivate you, people who can give you counsel on how to improve yourself, your situation, and your life in general. Positivity breeds positivity. Negativity breeds negativity. So if you want the things in your life to move in a positive direction, you need to get rid of all that negative stuff. And that negative stuff means the negative thoughts, the negative actions, the negative people, all of it. And if you're not willing to do that, commit to that, and do it on a consistent basis, your situation will never change. And, that's kind of how I feel about it. So for my descendants who may be seeing this video, if you are in that situation, as long as you wake up every morning, as long as you have breath in your body, as long as you're able to get up, you can change your circumstance. Don't wait on anybody else to do it. Don't sit there and wallow in it. Make up your mind. That's the first step. Make up your mind that change will happen. Once you make up your mind, take action. Whether it's talking to someone who's where you want to be, talking to a professional that can help you work through whatever's keeping you where you're at mentally. Whatever it is, you need to take action and change it. And I just want you to know that you can do what you put your mind to do. But it's more than just putting your mind to it. It's putting your body, your heart, your soul, everything into making that change happen. So, on that note, now that I have lectured you thoroughly, listen to grandmama or great-grandmama and take those words to heart. So, hopefully I will make another video in the coming months, but I'll leave you with that, okay? All right, love you guys. Take care. Talk to you soon.